Thank you very much for taking time and coming out and hearing our pitch, why the information technology sector and why the data center. Currently, I'm the CEO for Nomad Futurist Foundation, which is a nonprofit we started about a year and a half ago, with the whole mission of demystifying technology for the younger generation, creating awareness and showcasing you guys that there is actually an opportunity besides mom being a doctor or a scientist. This is the fastest, yet the youngest industry. This is the only sector globally that's growing at 30x multiplier today. And this is just the beginning of time. There's so many opportunities that are going to come along with it that we don't even know. We want to make sure that we encourage you guys, or at least give you an opportunity to explore this further. We have a problem in our sector, and it's a massive, massive problem. We were the best kept hidden secret that we never share with the world. Everything that you do, any and all of these experiences, they're all connected. And the backbone of all of that is actually data. The last phone call that you made, the last text that you sent, or the last TikTok that you were on, there's data in all of that experience. And that all goes back in the data center. And that's just the beginning. Our challenge has been, and what continues to be, and that's the reason why I started this whole initiative, is that today, 40% of the workforce in our sector got 25 years of experience. Now, what does that mean? In the next 5 years, there's going to be a retirement party every day. So we need to backflush talent, and that's you guys. The other challenge with that is that we're going compound at 30% year over year over year over year. There isn't enough people that are going to be able to backflush where the sector is today on a go-forward basis. We are trying to create this opportunity and exposure for you guys and potentially provide you an educational platform that synchronizes with what you're learning in school today and gives you an opportunity to get into the space. We are actually big advocates that you don't need to have a degree from an Ivy League. Look at all these big names: Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg. These guys actually did not finish college. So there's still an opportunity. Education does not mean that you've got a degree. That's the end of it. Education, it's a daily occurrence. It's a daily experience. You're learning every day, every second.
Growing up, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I wasn't a great student. I studied pre-med. My dad at the time was working for what's called a telephone company. It would become an internet company. I went to work there. I was just interested in what we're calling the internet, which is just interconnected networks. For my pitch to you, all of the stuff we do lives in the cloud. You'll hear that all the time. The cloud lives in a data center. We work in an industry that has these big data centers and these wires in the ground, or telephone pole wires or satellites that move those photos, those posts, those texts around. And it's what's called resilience. Resilient meaning it always does well, because no matter what we're doing, it has to run on what's called infrastructure.
I'm Marcus McMillin. Right now, I work for the San Francisco Giants. I'm a network engineer for the Giants, and I travel between all the different facilities. My heavy experience is telecom design, infrastructure in terms of if you're calling TikTok for support and you're like, oh, my account shut down. Well, that has to go through a person most of the time, or it would go through a web feed. And my background historically was designing the call center and the features that you could either do a web chat, an email, or a phone call to that company to get support or help in some fashion. And so generating the agent interaction and then the reporting on the back end. All of that is generated data, and all that has to be stored somewhere. And then you got to figure out how long. So that goes into data centers as well. You have to basically build all the infrastructure for that.
There's a lot of opportunities. We are the only sector that's got sub-verticals within it. You've got construction, construction management, real estate, legal, sales, marketing. It's all a part of our industry.
My background is in civil engineering. I grew up in India, wanted to be an architect, but I really enjoyed mathematics and physics. I know it's a little nerdy, but that's what I decided, that I wanted to go the engineering route. I started off my careers building out power plants in India. I did a lot of commercial offices, data centers, life science buildings. You needed critical infrastructure to be able to support the economy, to be able to support the healthcare services, to be able to support everything else that our day-to-day life needed. So that's how I made that decision. I'm going to pivot my career and focus into data centers.
My name's Maricel, and I've been in the technology construction design industry for over 18 years. I was also a minority owner for a technology consulting firm for 17 years, and currently I work for an electrical communications utility distribution supply chain solutions company. I immigrated here from the Philippines in 1983. In the early 2000s was my first introduction of a data center. And so this data center manager took me into this facility, and it was rows and rows of cabinets. And in this cabinet, there was stacks of servers. You would see all these blinky lights. That blinky light is someone downloading a music or a video. And I saw a sea of blinky lights in this facility. This data center industry, this is something I should focus on.
You guys got so much of an opportunity. I mean, coding has changed. It's at your fingertips. You can run platforms. My 16-year-old is a self-taught Java programmer because he was playing Roblox and other games. That's actually resulted in him teaching himself. And then you just see these kids working on multiple screens and multiple sessions at the same time. So the opportunities are there for you guys. We want to expose this industry to you and the endless opportunities there are.
As the industry develops, you're going to get more usage of data. And moving forward, we have a finite amount of land, so sustainability is a big issue. How do we maintain data resilience and grow data resilience while downsizing data centers and making it smaller and more efficient?
As computing gets better and faster and requires less physical hardware, the size of the data center and basically computing overall shrinks. As you can see, you basically have anything that we had as kids, the cell phone easily surpasses the processing of anything that we had. As the technology moves forward, the size and basically storage capabilities expand, but shrink at the same time, whereas the physical space shrinks, but the usable space have actually expanded. So really the data centers shouldn't really be growing too much and taking too much more physical space. As each generation moves forward, they try to make the infrastructure smaller because they know that they can't sustain all the power or all of the facility strength to maintain those facilities. So it grows, but it lessens at the same time.